So the dating world, as you know, there are so many people out there. And if you are someone who feels, pretty accomplished, knows your stuff, maybe you've been doing something for a long time and you're successful, or you're somebody who is, yourself and you're achieving something, but you've maybe raised kids, or maybe you've gone to college and you just have built your own confidence and you've built who you are. And then this person comes along. And I love to call that type of person a shapeshifter. That's what I like to call them, but most people call them narcissists. They are people who know exactly what to say to attract you by at first truly listening to who you are and delivering up your dream of your partner's personality. That's to get you started, to lure you into what seems like a reality, but is indeed a facade they are putting on. Later, they may tell you it was your fantasy, but that's what's so great about journaling. You can go back to see just what they were doing in the beginning to see if it was your fantasy driving that toxicity, or if it was just a false facade being slowly lowered into the reveal, a narcissist. Usually so slow, it goes largely unnoticed before you tangle tight into their often dramatic world. But here's the beginning of it. It isn't reality. It's a fantasy. And there's a part of you that fears it, feels unsteady about it. But you tell yourself to relax. This person just loves you for you. It seems too good to be true because it's true love. And that's so rare. It's hard to really know what that looks like. I guess it looks like this relationship does. But then they slowly, methodically, sometimes very consciously, this partner you've chosen seeks to dismantle your sense of reality. They do this in many ways, which makes it very, very dangerous. It's often called gaslighting, which is an assault on your ego, your personality. But your spirit is timeless and is there whenever you are ready to reclaim your spirit as your home, and this relationship as a stop along the way. This is a time when your spirit has the opportunity to gain strength by listening to your inner wisdom, especially when they are saying gaslighting things like, that's not what I said, or that's not what happened, or you don't have a very good memory, or anything to make you feel unsteady, unsure of who you are, unsure of your strengths, unsure of your identity, your purpose. You know what I mean? Okay, so once I was dating this guy, and he seemed like a really nice guy, really fun, and I thought we were going to have a good time together. And the first few days were fantastic. But as we got more serious, I started to watch myself. I started to watch. Well, first, I started to see his texts appeared anytime he wanted to get a doubt into me. And he was quite good at it. He would text right before he knew I had to do something important to better my own life. Like I had a big meeting with my team, or I was about to go into recording a show and needed to be clear and ready. Or I was about to coach a client or teach a class. It was always right before I walked in that I would get this text that no matter the words, it always was a setup to make me feel a little, whoa, wait a minute. I don't know if I know what I'm doing. I felt a little unsteady after connecting with him by the words he chose or what he decided to tell me about. He couldn't wait for after those events. It was always right before, which I found worthy of observation. I highly recommend using the scientific method when you are inside the unknown, the unfamiliar, the questioning of truth. Here are the basic steps of the scientific method. Make an observation that describes a problem. Create a hypothesis. Test the hypothesis and draw conclusions and refine the hypothesis. Your critical thinking is a key component of the scientific method. Without it, you cannot use logic to come to the conclusion. So that's why we start with observation. Just observe, no judgment. Observe what effects you see. I observed that when I was with him, I acted differently. Me, of all people. But I would act differently around only him. I found myself taking a back seat to him, being quiet, waiting to see how I could fit inside his dramas, his story, his day, his agenda for him, for my part in his agenda. And it was like the energy would get too draining for me. I observed I was drained. I observed he would act very big wherever he went, whether he was the knowledgeable one in the community we were in or not. He still played that big part. He found a way to take up all the space, telling people what to do or telling me what I shouldn't do anymore, which made me shrink and second guess myself, start questioning the things I love about myself, the things my friends loved about me. I don't know. He was just too much. So I created a hypothesis. I shrink around him because he demands it. I took him to a party with my opera community, a subject he definitely was not an expert in at all. Complete novice, a polite appreciator of it. But his lack of being the top dog in the room didn't matter. The evening is full of some of the greatest talents in opera. So much singing usually takes place, tips, shop talks by passionate people, filling up the space like a song. That is what these dinners usually turn into, rather quickly and joyfully. But with him, there it turned out to be all about him, how he made his money, lost it, made it again, and rose from nothing. But there were little jabs to me in the story amongst my peers, like, now we just got to get this one set straight. But the thing was, if I mentioned this was unacceptable to me or this hurt me, his reaction to me somehow would get me to suddenly back off or be a little shy or not say how I was really feeling. Or the thing is, when you say, well, what? Why did you let that happen? Well, because it sneaks up on you. This is the corrosive power of gaslighting. It's very strange. And it's because they know something about you. A need, a want, a weakness, an insecurity. You shared with them, and they take your weakness and they turn it against you as a weapon and use that weapon for whatever they need in the moment, which adds to the mercurial nature of his behavior and why I recommend a combination of the scientific method and spiritual practice. So lean in here because they can make it all about them for so many reasons. They might just need attention. They might need you to shut up. They need you to be the star for a moment so they can easily outshine the star in the room. They know your weakness. You're the easiest target for them to outshine. So building you up first is just part of the plan. They need money, resources, help. They need entry into your world from some other aspiration you may not even be privy to on purpose. The reasons can vary so much. Another reason you must test the hypothesis is several situations. Test it with your family, his family, your girlfriends, your guy friends, your business partners, people who are new friends, people who have known you for years. A classic tactic is to isolate you, but you must find ways to test your hypothesis. Then you can draw your conclusion. My conclusion was yes, indeed, when I'm around him, I shrink because he demands it and because I allow it. Okay. Here's where we take the scientific method and add a spiritual approach, which is really the only way you're going to get out of the lesson plan of learning how not to give yourself away for love. I could bottom line it for you right now, and I will, but it takes more than just hearing the bottom line. The bottom line is you are not right for each other. That's easy. That was gotten from the scientific method. But now we must look at your spirit. You called this lesson into your life lesson packet. Why? Why did you need to learn this lesson? Why did you want to believe in a false person or a persona? Why did you see red flags for yourself and even greater and brighter amongst your friends, family, and acquaintances? Why? Ultimately, the bottom line is you forgot you are loved and you want to hide in a world of another than express your true strength. Your answer to the question why you wanted to hide inside this drama, this triggering, this gaslighting, this toxicity, is actually the beautiful gemstone. You brighten your path out of there and lighten the path back to yourself. You see, love is not something you find. It is something you are. It's a noun and a verb. Your spirit is never a noun, a fixing thing. It is when you forget you are love, you will accept any form of it. You will seek it outside yourself rather than share it freely from within yourself. When you see someone and think, this is my chance at love, you are really saying, I'm not enough. I am not love. This is how people can get so triggered. Another buzzword being used by everyone these days. If you are knowing you are love and you are sharing your love from within you rather than trying to fill a lack of love, you are far less likely to be triggered. Can you imagine the Dalai Lama getting triggered? Why do you think he's so giggly? My goodness, he is giggly, and of course it's catchy. You get giggly around him because he is sharing his love from within, a love that is endless, timeless, and limitless. He knows he is love. We are love. It is all love. It's not triggering. It's a loving lesson from the universe. These are the gems you get to use to light your way back to spirit. So I ask you, where are you in your healing? I wish I could hear all of your answers right now and give you individualized spiritual counseling. What I can do is invite you to my webinar on how to make these big decisions through the spiritual lens in life. If you are sitting on a decision you need to make, maybe you needed to make it for a long time now, and it's starting to manifest in you getting easily triggered, getting sick a lot, brain fog, doubting yourself, then join us. People are loving this. It's free, and it's helping so many people find their true center, their love, and the path back to you, because you are love. Click the link to join us, because love is spirit, and spirit is love. Namaste, my friends. Thanks for watching. Don't miss out on a single thing. Subscribe below. And here's something else I think you'll enjoy. Namaste.